just a short little introduction to the art of lifting off. That is washing away paint from your painting. It's really important to me. I use it to not just correct mistakes, which of course it's useful for, just removing some dots that you may have put into your painting by mistake, but you can actually create forms using lifting off. So this is a painting of a lakeside, and I've used the brush to swipe away lines of through the paint, and as it gets removed it looks like slightly like ripples on the lake water. Another use for lifting off is the creation of rays of sunlight passing through the atmosphere, because sunlight can be incredibly strong and you can almost be blinded by it. And then this example that we've been working on through the videos, if you'd like to come and take a closer look, we're going to create a glow around our moon. So the wash is pretty much dry. There's a couple of puddles at the distant edges, but that's fine. So I'm going to start softening the edge of this moon. And what you'll hopefully see is that it'll start to glow. So lifting off is literally the use of a wet brush or damp brush to remove paint from your page. So I'm squeezing that brush out to remove excess water. I'm grabbing hold of a little bit of kitchen roll in case I want to actually remove some of the paint that I move on this painting, but I'm actually going to reuse a lot of it. This process is going to tidy up my moon, make it much more of a circle, or a sphere hopefully eventually, but initially I just need to make it look like a circle. At the moment it's got bumps and lumps and it's not exactly accurate. In the break in between I removed the W for white, which I had in the middle of this moon. That was making sure that I preserved this area of paper dry so that I could actually have a light moon. So this is a short stubby brush, that's the key. It needs to be fairly short so you can apply the bristles quite hard, but you don't want to rip the surface of the paper. So anything like a Holzherr is too rough, but a soft, short watercolour brush or even an acrylic brush is fine. So can you see each time I'm going back into the water and washing the brush a little bit so I don't smarm paint everywhere. I'm squeezing it out between my finger and thumb to make it a sort of a soft, damp brush. And I'm trying to introduce a shape to this moon. So by bringing tone in from the edges into the moon, I'm starting to indicate things like maybe a mountain range and craters. It's very subtle. You can't really see a lot on the moon in the sky. You can see some sort of shadowing. So I'm just trying to make it a nice orb at the same time. If something is lighter, you can still lift off. So we've got our lifting off brush. So you can imagine if there was going to be, say, a pathway through the trees, you can literally wash away the paint with this dry, thirsty brush. Suddenly you've got a way in to your pond in the foreground. Maybe it's appropriate to have some reeds and things in a minute. Just using my imagination now, but you can imagine, you could keep going, decide what you want to go in. Adding interest and detail to your painting, and of course you've still got the option to soften that cloud, lift it off, maybe make the edges softer and lighter because it's lit from behind by the moon. But it's always nice to have variety, so if some edges can be seen and others aren't seen, that's good too. But I would usually leave that to dry first before playing around with it. I don't know what that's going to look like until it's dry. So I hope you've had a chance to see how I paint, and if you just want to zoom in on the little details of the moon, you can see all the different slightly different ways of painting with watercolour. And if you want to find out more, have a look at my book Capturing Light. Thank you.